And perfect. And then I have a few seconds to take it through goddamn, what is it called? Audacity. Anyway, hi everybody. This is. We never came up with a name for whatever the fuck we're doing, are we?
Oh,
Nope. This is a
Well,
Dead by Daylight roundtable discussion.
yes.
We're,
So
we're
please,
gonna be sitting around the
We're being held here
campfire.
against our will. Help! Help! Help!
shut the
Well,
fuck.
I,
Shut the
well,
fuck up, Ross.
technically
Quick, stab
yes,
him.
because we are in fog, but like, I'm not sure how long we'll be in here.
Well, technically speaking, then that makes me the entity. Ross, stab him.
Ah!
I am good.
Anyway.
I'm not part of this.
You are. It's called a podcast. Anyway, on a real note, hi, my name's LawrenceMynes. You probably see me on doing the Twitch. I am joined by my fellow commentators because we're talking about Year 8, Year 9, and all the fucking things that are going on in DbD. So we'll start from Daisy here down to Ross. So,
Hello, everyone. Welcome for joining. I'm Daisy, but also known as Alpine. I'm a more on the casual side of DbD. Don't take matches too seriously. If anything, I look forward to DbD as like a fun little get-together game, really.
yeet. Blake.
Oh, I am next, aren't I?
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. I am Blake of Blake the Gamer Plays, Twitch streamer like Lawrence, and I moonlight in DbD now, but I used to play a lot more frequently prior to this moment.
my turn. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm Cornick. Yeah, I'm Cornick. I am a frequent player of Dead by Daylight. I am a lore enthusiast. I make lore videos, and I sometimes make up lore for legendary characters in DbD. So yeah.
I'm Mass, short for Mass Eater, regular DbD player, agent of chaos, and, of course, resident eldritch being. I'm a firm believer that survivors don't deserve rights, but I am willing to keep things on the table.
And then Ross is Ross. Ross is just in the. Ross is just in the. Ross is in the corner, just giving a small wave.
Oh, you got one of those too?
Oh, for fuck's sake! I have to edit this. I have to actually replace that.
Okay, well, we're off to a chaotic start.
I hate you both. I hate you so much. Anyway, alright. So, I think the first thing to start with, as simple as, is essentially putting the square peg in the round hole. How do we feel about DbD in Year 8? What is our main thought process?
Year 8 was amazing, so.
Fantastic so far.
Year 8 was definitely more on the more...
It was great. We're in year 9 now. Me, I'm smart good.
It's been great. There has been some flubs here and there, but other than that, good year round. Behavior has definitely taken a step forward with the community actually listening to, comments, concerns. PTB feedback has been really nice. I do look forward to like how else they're gonna be listening in the future.
Yeah.
I think from the gameplay standpoint, it's been fine. I don't want to broach community too fast because those are two separate issues. I think behavior's been doing fine.
Yeah.
Behavior's been doing a good job making sure that they're improving the game and introducing interesting new stuff instead of just rehashing the same like 4 perk archetypes.
Yeah, that and stuff outside of the game, like Into the Fog. Or is it Into the Fog or What the Fog?
What the fuck?
What the Fog, and the casting of Frank Stone.
What the Fog is the game.
The roguelite.
Yeah, Into the Fog is. I think that's a podcast.
Yeah, it's a podcast. I think it's a podcast.
Something like that.
Definitely branching out.
Yeah. Yeah. So, at least from where I'm sitting, year 8 has been really good. It's been interesting, though. As you said, Alpine, there's been some flummox.
There's been some flubs.
Yeah, but
Some flops.
I think it's overall positive, but my note is also, in my opinion, that the stuff that's been has been kind of like, for what few there are, it is like serious, like sideshow Bob, like stepping on a rake sort of thing, like the fucking rubber banding issue. Granted,
Oh yeah, that's been horrible.
yeah, granted, while it's not like every 5 minutes they're stepping on a rake, like what year fucking 5 and 6 was, to an extent, I will say at least this, they've learned.
No, they definitely have learned because, from what I remember, it was really heated. At least the community was
Oh yeah.
really vicious. But to be fair, that's just been DbD for the past
We'll get to that when we
like
get
2
to
years,
that.
maybe.
Yeah, honestly,
We'll get to that when we
when
get
it comes
there.
to flubs,
Yeah.
a lot of them I'm willing to even forgive because, like, I know a lot of them came with the engine change, and that's just gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going for a full-on engine change. You know,
Yeah.
you're basically gutting something and shoving the organs in something new.
What's that one horror movie? Ross might be able to know what I'm talking about. Is it Tusk, where the guy gets turned into a walrus?
Yeah, it's tough.
Yes,
Yeah,
not just anyone. Fucking Daniel Radcliffe, if I'm not mistaken.
I don't. I hate that fucking movie, but yeah, that's the closest thing I can think of. Oh my god.
Okay, it wasn't. Why do I always think that's Daniel Radcliffe in that movie? Oh, because he was in an equally shitty film about parts of anatomy that are not part of a human anatomy.
Who are you talking
Are you
about?
talking about the
Jeffrey
Horns
Wright?
movie?
Yeah,
What are we talking about? I lost a little bit of context. I'm not trying to keep us on track. I was just like, wait, what movie?
I think you're confusing Justin Long with Daniel Radcliffe.
Oh, I thought you were talking about
it's because one's called Tusk and the other one's called Horns.
Oh, I thought you were talking about that movie where he plays the corpse and he's used like as a sailboat.
What?
Eh?
Yeah, there's a movie. I'll get us back on
You mean
track.
Swiss Army Man?
Yeah, Swiss Army Man. Daniel Radcliffe plays a fucking corpse, and a guy is using the corpse for survival. And there's this fucking really... It's a dark comedy, essentially, and his corpse is eventually used as, like, the fucking boat from... what's the movie with Tom Hanks? The guy just keeps the body...
Castaway?
Yeah, Castaway. He's basically using the body as a friend and stuff, and then he eventually turns the body a la Castaway fucking raft and uses him to sail back to civilization. It's like, I'm so glad they established it's a fucking corpse, and he is dead, and the guy's trying to do everything he can to escape / stay sane. Otherwise, everything here would be so scuffed, and it already is, even in context. Speaking of scuffed, to go back on topic, so I guess I will ask, what is everyone's favorite part of year 8? Because I'll say with mine, personally, has been it's been a combination of things, but I'd say All Things Wicked's probably been my favorite chapter, even though I'm not huge into creepypasta shit. Like, that is my kind of idea on, like, horror for that sort of stuff, and I love the unknown.
Alan Wake was my favorite chapter.
I think what goes on with the zero roadmaps, I'm more concerned about the quality of life changes that have been, for better or for worse, really good.
I would agree with that.
I was about to say
Quality
that.
of life improvements, 100%.
Yeah, I was about to
Because
say.
year 8 they were to introduce player disconnect bots, which was not only like where's the DC problem, like outrageously infuriating to play with whenever somebody were to DC. Especially in the beginning of the game, it's it was a good addition. Also, the anti-camping system, which is good for face camping, albeit there hasn't been a lot of value, at least in my experience, where I had to use the anti-camp
Yeah, I was about to say
effectively.
it's one of those things I feel like with the anti-camp where it's like hit or miss.
But I still think it was a good addition nonetheless. So
That's another thing.
I
Oh, go ahead.
even though it was like I think the concept like how they implemented the anti-camp was kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
But that's my initial point.
I was about to say, to also continue on what you were saying, the fucking the gen kick thing is really nice. Like, I remember
I'm the exact opposite on that.
I like it. I personally think it's really good because I've always hate the gen kicking thing, because it's like, as a killer you kick it and they just go right back to touching it. Like, I felt like it was super.
That part is good.
Yeah.
It's the other part that I don't like.
Yeah, it was to me, honestly, both sides were very annoying, because it sucked as a survivor to keep watching a gen's progress go down just because a killer refuses to chase you. But at the same time, as a killer, it's nice to no longer have the people who hobgoblin fucking hide around a corner every 2 seconds with distortion and keep touching it, because they just don't want that gen to lose progress.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
Gen tapping is no longer a thing, and plus, you can also killers are now able to pressure gens a little bit more effectively now that survivors have to rework the gen a certain amount of for a certain amount of time in order for it to stop regressing anymore.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought it was good.
That's the part of the gen kick thing I do like. For me, the best part of this year, that's honestly kind of hard to say. Really, All Things Wicked has been just absolutely incredible. Though, moment of silence for its voice actress, rather. Excuse me, my bad.
You're good.
May she rest in peace.
Yeah.
She did a fantastic
Absolute
job.
tragedy. She absolutely killed it.
They have to give her a charm or something.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
that's a sort of thing that's just like that. I think it's on like the family.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
true,
sure.
but, like,
I'm not sure how that sort of thing works.
I wouldn't really like. I mean, they gave Poppers the charm to
I was about to say,
remember him.
It depends on the family and the company, because like there have been plenty of characters in games. Like the only one I can think of off the top of my head was there's a guy in Nuka World who is based off of a guy who had cancer and was a huge Fallout fan and died literally a day or two before Fallout 4 came out. So to memorialize him, Bethesda asked his brother if they could put him in the game, and they put him in Nuka World, where he's just kind of chilling out, doing his own thing, hanging out, which is really nice.
Yeah, it's one of those things where just like it's a matter of like if you get the family permission.
Yeah.
Like with Puppers, to my knowledge, Pupper's family were absolutely hugely supportive of him I'm not sure what their pronouns were.
Pretty sure it was
But
she,
even
her.
then, like, I do appreciate the amount of work that oh my god, why can't I fucking think today? That Zoe, because there was a lot of effort with the whole voice acting thing.
Yeah,
And I do wholeheartedly believe that they should like at least like do something, not like if like, well, of course, like what Matt said, it depends on the family, but like of course in remembrance for Zoe to be working on a chapter that is just as impactful for me, in my opinion, since The Dredge, which was like what, like a year or two ago.
I know they did at least put out a tweet, so
Yeah,
a year and a half.
Unfortunately, they might not be able to do more than that, but
Yeah. What about you, Alpine?
anyway, to try and bring the mood back, other good things from this year, just
Well,
I think something that I don't think gets a lot talked about, the improvements that have over the time have come to Nemesis's zombie AI.
oh god.
The
As a
Nemesis, man,
Nemesis player, I was like, I love it when Cindy and Frank get hits.
As a Nemesis main, I noticed that my zombies weren't getting stuck on much anymore, so, that was cool.
Huge improvement there, yeah.
Now they need to fix the fucking knight guards.
No, what they need to do is add 100 more zombies for Nemesis. Then it will be a real Resident Evil chapter.
Shut the fuck up, Nick. Shut the fuck up.
Add hunters and lickers.
No.
Especially add lickers, because lickers are my favorite RE enemy.
Maybe like a skin, so maybe not.
Yeah. But yeah, Alpine. What about Alpine? You and Nick. What about you? What's your favorite thing about Year 8?
You want to go first, Alpine?
Yeah, I can definitely go first. For me, I play both Survivor and Killer casually. So I do tend to pick up on like the little more smaller things. One of them being that I'm not sure if it was added this year, but I did notice that unhookings, if a survivor is unhooking, you can't cancel that anymore as a killer, which I think is a really nice improvement. Because it does save, or it potentially does save a survivor from going to like second stage, or maybe just outright just being sacrificed there and then. And for a killer, just like the collision on maps have been a lot better. They're not as atrocious as they once used to be, and this is coming from a Twins and Billy main, respectively. As for the chapter, I really, really do appreciate All Things Wicked, just because to me it returned to a more, kooky, spooky, scary, horror type beat, which I think was needed, considering that we did get a few out there licenses this year. That and the addition
that's
of
another thing I liked about this year.
Yeah.
The license is getting real weird.
Licenses have been getting a little out there, but also the inclusion of just the not even events. What would you call them?
You
The
mean
modifiers or
Modifiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, the modifiers.
the... Okay.
that one's been a mixed bag in my opinion.
There have been a few hit or misses with the
Yeah,
modifiers.
definitely.
And there have been like a lot of misconceptions with how modifiers work. Is that they weren't meant to be a permanent game mode. This is just for them to test the waters to see what works or what doesn't work. And for a lot of people, the Chaos Shuffle seems to have worked a lot. Because it's year 9 where the year 9 is Chaos Shuffle, right? So I'm not gonna go too detailed because it's not about year 9, but Lights Out and My Little Oni were fun for the time.
Yeah, they were good for like 1 or 2 matches, and then it kind of flopped.
I didn't like My Little Oni because I couldn't use licensed survivors.
I think it has something to do with the giving permission to modify the the models in the game. Would think it had something to do with that, but I'm not too certain. I don't know how the whole licensing issue works, so I'm willing to bet it could be a licensing issue on their part.
Yeah.
But then again, it's not meant to be like a super serious thing.
Yeah, it was just
Yeah.
April Fool's Day haha funny mode.
It was just something that you could do if you just don't want to play the normal game mode, which is perfectly fine. My Little Oni was good for like around 3 games in my opinion, and then it got kind of stale.
Yeah,
it was fun.
was about to say.
It didn't even last very long, so.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Another thing about the misconceptions is about like how people would often complain about like their favorite game mode not being implemented into DbD as a modifier, even though that 2v8 is guaranteed as the most popular game mode that people have wanted.
Yeah,
So of course it's not like they're gonna immediately like release that.
Yeah, I was about to say, given some people's synergies and like killer synergies, because I know for a fact, like, if me with Ross do that, with me being like one of my mains being fucking Unknown and Ghostface, and him being Myers, is essentially no one's gonna be able to hide from shit. Because he's just gonna be around the corner stalking, and the moment that they see him, they just turn the corner and there's just me stalking them, so it's like, which one? Which one you want? Which one do you want?
Oh yeah, like, I'm a doctor main, and I'm just like, give me doctor in this mode. Give me doctor in this mode.
Oh,
you don't understand, give me doctor in this mode.
Doc and fucking, what is it, Singularity?
Doc and Blight! Doc and Blight!
No, Doc and Singularity is gonna be worse.
You unleash the zap and just go, sick 'em, boy!
I was thinking of like with Doctor, because you can use Doctor to deny Palance against a tier 3 Myers. You're not gonna be able to throw anything down and he just kills you.
I was thinking like Doctor and Hag.
Why are we all? I could feel fucking Blake fucking in the background dying from the statement of Doc and Myers alone.
You're gonna get shocked, and then your camera's gonna snap.
Oh my god!
360 because you gotta hide
in real life.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible. Yeah. I guess that's what.
If licensed characters get involved, it's only gonna get sillier.
Oh, fucking Chucky with fucking Vecna.
Chucky and Pig, baby.
Chucky and Vecna. Because imagine someone goes to crouch check the skeletons and Chucky just fucking runs in with the fucking slice and dice.
Just removes their kneecaps.
I feel like most Ghostface players won't even take Skull Merchant seriously if they were to pair up against her, because the whole teabagging thing that he can do.
Oh my god! Oh my!
So he's just gonna be like just humping her leg from behind her and do nothing else, and I think that's.
Well,
like,
you
super
also
funny.
would just get the synergy of becoming a stealth killer with Merchant's drones.
Oh yeah, that's also a thing. Duo powers or something like that. I forgot what they were called, but like, of course, like with the Wraith, then the other killer within a certain radius of the Wraith get undetectable.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that is true. Because like,
I feel like we are stemming from the whole Year 9 stuff when we're mostly here to just talk about Year 8.
Yeah, I was about to say. Well, I felt like maybe before we get into negatives, we talk about positives. So that is kind of something too, the 2v8 and the modifiers in general, which I think outside of My Little Oni have been pretty good. I personally thought Lights Out was interesting. Wasn't the best, but I like the fact that Lights Out completely flipped the fucking strength of killers when you remove terror radius and like indications. Like Leatherface, Singularity, Pig to an extent.
No, I was gonna say fucking Bubba. Like, yeah. You're just fucking dead if you did see him.
Yeah, I was about to say Legion, Leatherface, Myers, Singularity,
Hag.
The killers that are normally like mid or
any killers with built-in aura rating, you're fucked.
Yeah. That's where I was saying.
Doctor especially.
I was about to say that's where I was thinking with Singularity, because like they're just highlighted for you when you go into the cameras. I actually played one match with Xenomorph, and Xeno, it was really interesting because you had the turrets that, would go like beep 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 beep, and it created this really like interesting tension, but at the same time you couldn't fucking see him because he's jet black. So you had to sit there in the turret radius to get an idea of how close he was. And even then, didn't even fucking matter because like you would still get jumped even if he ran through the flames. So it was really interesting. Go ahead.
Lights mode made Xenomorph into the actual fucking Alien movie.
Yeah, I was about to say, it literally was the first Aliens movie.
Sorry about that.
You're good. But, I mean, past that too, like, Chaos Shuffle is really good. I would like to see them permanently implement that, but that's just because it's a randomizer. It only makes sense. But then again, at the
It
same...
adds on to the casual side of DbD.
Yeah. And honestly, the 2v8 I am looking forward to. I am interested in seeing what they do for synergies, because they have talked about the classes. Survivors get classes, so I'm kind of wondering what that entails. Because knowing the meta of DbD, it's kind of like, does that mean, like, you know, a healer class gets, like, adrenaline and sprint burst then? Because, like, you could respawn faster? Or, like... It's weird to talk about DbD with classes, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I feel like they were overdue for something like a job system, if
Yeah.
I'm being honest, because there's so many times you'll queue in and everybody has the same things on survivors, and that's so obnoxious.
Yeah.
What I'm hoping for the 2v8 classes is that I hope I don't get into a lobby where all 8 survivors do Gen Rush classes,
I have a...
which is going to be...
I imagine it almost would almost. Yeah, I can't talk. I imagine it'd almost have to be like if you pick one class, no one else can pick that class.
I feel like 2 can pick that. Like 2 maximum can pick the a dedicated class.
Maybe like a per class basis sort of deal.
Yeah. Like, there's a healer class, gens, looping, and maybe stealth. But
I was about to say looping, gens, healing, wild card, stealth, item, and probably
give us a meme class.
Yeah, I was about to say that probably something like a gambling, where it, like, you have what's Nick Cage? Oh, sorry, Blake.
Dramaturgy.
Yeah, but I'm gonna let Blake speak real quick.
I was gonna say, like, if you give people a meme class, it's almost assuredly you're inviting more people to be weird inside of the game mode and not do things they're supposed to.
To be fair, we've mentioned a stealth class, and considering how fucking prominent ratting is that gonna be any better? Who the fuck here is going to make... Who the fuck here is going to understand that the stealth class introduced is not going to have that one motherfucker in the corner with distortion sitting there like they're Eustace going, nope, not getting out of this chair.
Fair point.
Yeah, not getting off this generator. Proceeds to have Plaything, Pimento, Friends Till the End, Pain Res, Ruin, Chlorophobia, and Sloppy all applied to them. Nope, not getting off this gen.
Not today, assholes!
Can't make me.
What was I gonna...
I'm not playing the video game, not today!
This is Gen Repair Simulator, not Dead by Daylight. Oh, that is something also, too, I want to talk about. I am glad Behavior is doing something, at least attempting, about the meta. Now, granted, I will admit I am more of a killer main. I play both sides. I think it's fair to say everyone in the room will call me out if I don't say I'm a little more on the casually competitive. I like winning, but at the same time, I kind of set more of my own goals, where it's like, I don't mind 2 people getting out as long as I can get like 10 hooks, some interesting chases. But I am glad that they're tackling the meta. Some of the perk changes I don't agree with, but I'm sorry, I'm gonna fucking say it. Thank fucking God that they're gutting the shit out of they gutted the shit out of Buckle Up and For the People. And I'll say it, if that means losing the fucking Pop as it stands, that's fine. Because personally, I don't understand why they're nerfing Pop again, but hey, I'm fine with them nerfing it if it
Honestly,
means...
it's not really much of a perk. It's not even much of a nerf.
Yeah, but I still feel like where it's like, that one's a little excessive. Pain Res makes sense, but Pop is kind of like, eh. I'm gonna let it play out, though. I'm gonna let it play out. I'm gonna hold my judgment until I actually see it.
Gotta let him cook.
Yeah, I'm gonna let them cook. They've proven that they ain't buying from McDonald's anymore. We getting burgers. We getting gourmet. Fuck you. We're going to Burger King then.
Hell yeah!
And I'm giving Alpine the crown.
You fool! That was the trap all along. I like Burger King.
All right, we're going to
No.
Arby's. We're going-
Yes! Yes!
No.
Yes! Yes!
You would poison us like that?
You fool!
I'm trying to
You foolish fool!
Someone
I
give me-
didn't need my colon anyway.
I was about to say, someone give me a restaurant that this goddamn man hates.
I have climbed Meat Mountain 3 times.
Long John Silver's.
I
All right.
love Long John Silver's.
For
Oh my god!
Okay, your taste buds are fucking atrocious then.
I miss my local Long Johns, man.
Even your taste buds are autistic.
Wow.
I miss them so much. I miss it genuinely.
That is a fucking quote and a half. Anyway, I don't even know how to respond to that. I was gonna follow that up, but I don't know. I'm gonna leave that gold where it's at. I'm gonna let that fucking dust turn
You
into
can't
a pearl.
kill me.
Okay, anyway. I will say too, like, going on to the meta thing, yeah, I'm glad that they're fucking gutting this shit out of fucking perks that have been a problem. Adrenaline, the
Background player.
background
Oh my God.
player, buckle up for the people. I'm fine with the pain res and pop changes. Like I said, I'm a killer main. Don't really like the pop one. Pain res, that's fine. There was another killer perk that's getting kind of ultimate weapon. I don't.
I am super fine with that.
I was about to say.
Honestly, it's not even that big of a nerf.
Yeah, it's kind of
A
weird.
lot of people are saying like, "Oh, it's gutted. Oh, it's gutted." It's not. No.
Well, it's kind
If
of
I know where you are, I can kill you.
Well, it's kind of funny because the only killer I've ever used ultimate weapon on is fucking Dredge, so nothing much changed for me because by the time ultimate weapon procced and they were nearby, if I didn't choose to chase them, I often just teleported because I also had darkness revealed. So it was like open locker, everyone around me doesn't scream, that Nia in the fucking corner of the map out. Yeah, I was like, there's that fucking Nia again trying to touch that gen I keep smacking her to death about. Teleports out of
Tell you not to
locker.
touch it.
Pretty much, yeah. One thing I will say, though, has been kind of disappointing. Yeah, I think we could all agree with. I don't like how they're... I'm going to say it. I don't like that they're removing things and giving things... not giving anything in return as far as killers. Like, some stuff I kind of understand, but like the hug tech situation's kind of dumb. Because... that also means that they're kind of sawing down some of the simpler stuff. They're sawing down the more complex stuff for killers you can learn. And they're also kind of making Survivor as a role kind of brain dead, too. At least in my opinion.
Like, you're changing the skill expression for Blight just by hug teching, which is a very fun thing to do. They did the same thing for Wesker, which is something I didn't understand.
Yeah, I was about to say, Wesker, Blight, Chucky, Oni, and Billy have all been affected by this. Which doesn't make fucking sense because, like... it's something I don't like, because it's like, as a survivor, you kind of need to learn these things, and I just hate how they're making the role boring, where it's like, just hold W technically counters all powers. It's kind of dumb. It's kind of dumb for both ends, because it's like, how long can you hold W? How long can you last out? And then there's like...
Honestly, I tend to say I've never agreed with that statement. That holding W wins matches. No, it doesn't.
It depends on the map and the circumstance, I do totally agree, but at the same fucking time, you can't deny that that's a super strong fucking... that's a super strong way to get around things. Or crouch tech. I think crouch tech is stupid. And...
Crouch check I'll give you is dumb, but like holding W, no. I
Crouch
will catch
check
you
would
eventually.
Would be better if it worked the same with every power. I feel like it does have times where it feels stupid. You're right.
yeah.
But like, there's times where it doesn't work, where you're like Huntress's hatchets, for example.
Yeah, like...
It doesn't matter. The hitbox is too big.
yeah,
and
I was...
crouching is meaningless.
yeah, I was about to say where it's like... I'd be fine with crouch tech if it worked for all powers, but it doesn't, because like, you crouch against a Huntress hatchet, and it still fucking cleaves your skull, and then there's Billy, who gets... just... Nia decides to take a fat fucking knee in front of the pallet, and then like she's getting ready for an NFL game, and then Billy just does not hit her. It makes no sense.
Yeah, that doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah, Billy should be like, using the NFL for a specific reason. You should be hearing the NFL theme going off as Billy kicks her. Like, Jesus fucking... Yeah, exactly. Nia should be fucking thrown against the wall just like a fucking cartoon crater in the wall. Just...
Oh my.
Yeah. Just dead instantly. Like, it makes sense for Vecna, too. Oh, I guess that's also something we should talk about, too. What is everyone's thoughts on the new chapter? Let's
Amazing.
I love Vecna. Vecna needs to be tuned.
Yeah, he does.
Very, very good in concept, but I do agree that Vecna needs some tweaking.
He is so close to being perfect. He just needs just a little bit more time in the oven. Just a hair. Pop him in the microwave.
But like when it comes to like newer chapters, I'd rather get like an underwhelming new killer than an overwhelming new killer, because at least you can give at least it's easier, at least in my opinion, like what the devs need to work on when a killer is underpowered.
It's better to get a trickster than get a blight, is what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I love D&D. It's just that I feel like I know for a fact that we're going to get Dracula right after, and I don't know.
Fucking God, baby, yeah!
Oh my god.
For fuck's sake,
I
Nick.
have no idea how we're going to balance that. No
Nick can
idea.
attest. Nick can attest. When that happened in the stream, I muted my mic. Afterwards, I literally just popped on the mic. I'm gonna come.
Yeah, he did say that, and I just screamed my fucking head off when that fucking Castlevania... I knew the instant the fucking Blood Moon and Castle came up, I was like, oh, fuck me, man.
For fuck's sake, stop.
Finally.
For fuck's sake, stop orgasming in this podcast, the both of you. Ross, you have my permission to stab whoever the fuck you want.
We can't help it. We're Castlevania fans.
Yes, and
Again, I have no
We're
part of this.
Castlevania fans. We love anime twinks.
yeah, but unlike all of the people who fucking went gaga for Pyramid Head, me, a huge Silent Hill fan, I kept it in my pants when Pyramid Head got released.
I just want Dracula.
You're one of the very few.
I just want Dracula to have voice lines whenever he hooks a survivor. He goes, "What is a man? A miserable little pile of secrets."
See, and I don't know what additional stuff we would get with that beyond just the killer. Like,
Survivor's
we know
probably
we're
gonna be
not-
at Belmont.
It's gotta be Silent Belmont.
yeah, but like, how
Richter.
how do you fit that in to work with how the game does? Because
Okay,
having a hunter,
to be fair,
how are you gonna fight the killer?
to be fair,
You
Blake,
have-
to
you
be
have Leon Kennedy, Ash Williams.
Yeah, I was
without their signature weapons.
I was about to say, to be very...
Do we forget we have Chris Fuck Boulders Redfield?
Yeah, I was
in the
about
game?
to say,
That's-
let's be completely
That's just
honest.
a legendary skin. That's just a legendary skin.
Well, hold
it's
on,
not the
no,
same.
hold
Because
on,
with
hold
a
on.
Belmont, I feel like we have the real thought process of, oh, okay, I am literally just gonna walk up to the killer and bully him.
Well, no,
That's how it feels like it should
Blake,
play, even though I know we're in the entities realm, and that's not how that shit works.
Blake, let's be fair too. That there is Bill, Ash, Cheryl, all of the Resident Evil characters, some of the Silent Hill characters.
Alan fucking Wake.
Yeah, Alan fucking Wake.
D&D Bard.
Yeah, D&D Bard and Alan Wake, which both of them
and
have
this
been
fucking
confirmed
guy.
to have their powers. Cheryl too. Cheryl, Alan, and the Bard, all to an extent, have their respective abilities and powers to an extent. And fucking Nick Cage, which is just a fucking dude, somehow has powers. Technically, and you're
Are you
going.
questioning? Hold up. Are you questioning the abilities of Nicolas motherfucking Cage?
I was about to
He
say.
has that shit in real life.
I was about to say, to be fair, the entity at this point is looking at all the killers going, here's the newest survivor. And you just fucking hear Trapper in the background going, oh fucking come on!
The Trapper is also saying that, good, I'm gonna have a harder time killing these people. I didn't even want to be here.
I was about to say, the last regular dude you brought in...
Evan McMillan is suffering.
I was about to say, the Trapper's just sitting there. The last normal guy you fucking brought in was a writer! And somehow he has the power to shape reality! There's just Alan Wake in the background like, I have a horrible chin.
I don't know how to fucking finish a story.
Yeah.
I keep getting stabbed.
Alan Wake looks over at Nick Cage. How the fuck are we gonna solve this? Nick Cage. I just have to witness what the fuck I saw last trial, because I just saw this weird giant purple skeleton man eviscerate a literal fucking Christmas elf. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And there's just Kate in the background looking at them both like, so a new killer and a survivor's here. There's just Dwight also just scratching his head because he's like, I don't get it anymore.
Dwight just sees the bard and just the elf bard and just goes, I quit. I'm done. Goodbye.
Trapper.
Let's
not forget that there's 2 bards coming, which is...
Yeah, that's why I said.
That's
why
amazing.
I specifically said the elf bard.
Yeah. Which was it the elf that taught the human, or the human that taught the elf?
The elf taught the human.
The elf taught the human. Okay, so yeah.
Of course, the fucking knife ear taught the human.
Hey, keep your D&D racisms to yourselves.
They old, okay? It's easier for them to teach people shit. They have time.
I'm
they
sorry,
went to college.
I'm just in your corner. He poses Arakoa superiority.
But yeah, I was about to say, if we're gonna go with that, right? Technically speaking, half of the cast should not actually be having a problem fighting back. Ash, unironically, should be able to, even with the entity's influence, punch the shit out of like Hillbilly and run away. But
yeah,
To be fair, where are they gonna go if they do start fighting? Because the gate's not opening.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I mean, they've got time to work on the gens then, because they've murdered the fucking killer. But it
just seems like going is like
it feels just different and weird Castlevania-wise, because Castlevania's whole entire shtick is about beating the shit out of Dracula.
Well,
and yet somehow he still comes back.
That's not always true. Sometimes you are Dracula.
Yeah, you are Dracula.
Remember Lords of Shadows 2? No, you don't. No one does.
Remakes are weird, and I don't want to touch those, but I will grant you the DS games, where you play Selma Cruz, who is technically Dracula.
I was talking about Lord of Shadow 2.
On that note, too, talking about... Oh, sorry, go ahead, Alpine.
I'm just glad we're finally getting a vampire! I've been asking for a fucking vampire, or just universal monster.
And it's the best vampire.
And it's literally one of the most iconic vampires, really. Yeah.
Also,
literally chosen because he is seen as the best depiction of Dracula by behavior.
Also, I'm not gonna lie. At this point, we have 2 RE chapters, and now we have Castle fucking Vania. If behavior does not add Dead Rising, and we get Frank West, I am literally going to be looking at behavior, going, "How the flying fuck? This does not make sense."
We will, because I want to say Nick Cage opened up.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. You said you wanted Regina from Dino Crisis?
I'm sorry.
No, I wanted Brenda Meeks from Scary Movie, actually. I want you to step forward to the front. I want you to step forward, Brenda Meeks. I want you to follow up.
The most normal answer out of all of that was just Ross in the background. Isabella Keys! Like he's a fucking WWE announcer. You're not wrong. That should be...
Where's Bray Wyatt?
Honestly, that
should...
dead.
Yeah.
Honestly,
fucking John Cena.
Honestly, Keys should definitely be a skin for Talia. Renato got the fucking RE6 skin, so she should get the Dead Rising skin.
I mean, I think it'd make more sense if, like, Talia was, like... Not Talia, fucking Isabella was, like, a legendary skin for Frank West at, like, Saga and Rose for Alan Wake.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Isabella Keys.
Isabella Keys. I want to say love interest for Franklin?
No.
It's complicated there.
Isabella Keyes was one of the two people that ended up releasing the zombie plague on the United States. She's the half that ended up regretting her actions and ended up trying to develop a cure.
A cure.
Yeah. Essentially, where her brother wants complete and utter revenge, she saw the aftermath of their actions and was like, oh, fuck. Alright.
If it isn't the consequences of my own actions.
Yeah, her brother was like, yes, the world will burn her. Oh. Well, shit. We might have gone too far. Her brother firing a P90 at a fucking FBI agent.
I love those as character motivations.
You
It's
know
like,
what?
oh yeah, I forgot. I live here.
Literally the equal but opposite of Peter Quill. Why do you want to save the fucking universe? Because I live in it!
Listen, the 7 deadly sin psychopaths had legendary skins.
I think I've stated that. Okay, we'll go on. We'll start a little tangent here because I think we're past the fucking DnD chapter, which we all agree is going to be fucking good to some extent. Even if it's a 6 out of 10 for us, we're all looking forward to it.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna do, I guess we'll do speculation for new chapters / what do we want to see. Because if they do a Dead Rising chapter, I actually don't want them to do, like, psychopaths as skins. I'd rather them have a little fun and give the killers skins based off of the killers winning against those psychopaths. Like, for example, Billy winning against Adam the Clown, and his outfit is a tattered version of Adam's outfit. Sort of thing.
I really want the greed psychopath in the game, though. That guy was fucking dark as shit.
Could Trickster get TK's outfit? Can it just be canonical for Trickster that he managed to win against TK and his new bat is TK's mic? That would actually
be amazing.
Yeah, I was about to say, Trickster with TK's fit from Dead Rising 2 would actually be kind of cool. Especially to get, like, a suit without the jacket. Also,
I can't believe Pierce Washington from Saints Row 3 became a psychopath in Dead Rising 3.
oh my god, yeah, he's voiced by the same guy, isn't he? It's pretty much the same character. Oh, that's kind of fucked.
That's fucking funny.
Something Dead Rising 4.
No.
No.
Fucking Ken Swanson as a legendary cosmetic from Wesker. And then when he gets pallets done, he goes, "You ruined my perfect shot!"
Good old Kenneth.
I hate all of it.
That's it.
I hate all of that. Anyway, speculating for new chapters. All right, let's just get this fucking bandage out of the way. Who the fuck's speculating FNAF? No one in this conversation? Good.
I am.
Shut the fuck up. You have no rights.
No,
It'll
actually,
happen eventually.
Not this year, though. Not this year.
I've heard many suggest they want Jason
I
to
don't think
finally
it's
come
Jason.
home.
I don't think it's Jason.
But
I think it's Jason.
I really don't think it's Jason.
I just
I
want the
don't-
Pizzaplex.
If you get anything from Jason, it'll be a long time from now.
Yeah.
It
I'm not
definitely
sure on
will
Jason
be.
because, like, the Jason universe stuff, Matthew Cote does follow it.
It
Yeah,
seems
it's
like a
true.
full chapter to me, aside from like a solo killer.
Yeah, and that seems like something to end the year on, if that makes sense. Like, every year we've ended on a license or an original killer that is, like, their best fucking effort. Like, started with Clown? In year 2, I think?
The clown, yeah.
Yeah,
The clown released store cosmetics, so.
Yeah, I was about to say,
All just
started...
got the flu.
It started with Clown, and then it went to Ghostface, Pyramid Head,
Then it was Pyramid Head. Yeah.
Nemesis, Dredge. Was it Knight or Wesker that ended?
Night, actually,
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, Knight, then the Unknown, and then we'll have to see for year 9. Like, if I hate to say it like this, but it feels like if they do Jason, that's going to be year 10. Like the big, hey, our game is.
Oh, year 13. Ha ha ha.
I don't think they'd wait that long.
We're gonna be waiting fucking 13 years.
13 years.
The
year the game dies, year 13, the last killer released is Jason. Everyone immediately looking at behavior with a fucking pissed expression, but also like, you sons of bitches.
I'm not sure how the licensing is being
You can
handled.
play him for exactly a week.
But the way I see it is, we probably won't be getting Camp Crystal Lake because Camp Crystal Lake is the first movie. And the most, iconic Jason is part 3, which is Higgins Haven, not Crystal Lake.
I think
I think the most iconic Jason for me is like
Hockey Mask Jason. It's part 3.
Yeah,
Like-
he doesn't get his face until then.
Mm-hmm.
I think the most iconic Jason for me was the one with the exposed spine. Was that part 7? I think.
It's 6.
Jason versus Carrie. That's what people call it.
Oh, yeah, it's part 6. So I don't know, like, would they go with a lesser, like, iconic map like Higgins Haven? I'm not sure.
I think they might do a splash of everything because, like, we've seen the entity kind of fashion realms out of memories and stuff, like Greenvale and Garden of Joy. So if we were to use Jason's memories, it could be a combination of everything where they have, like, some cabins with
Part
like
of the maps in New York.
Yeah, I was about to. Actually, they could have it be where like the lake part of the map could be that yacht that took him to New York for some fucking reason, but the yacht's wrecked a bit, or it's trying to form it out of Jason's memories.
No. You don't understand. It's just Camp Crystal Lake, and then you go one part of the map, and it's just Times Square.
Oh my god.
Well, the thing is like, when you think Jason, there really is no main building or set or stage that
There
you
is.
think. The only thing I can think
Crystal
of.
Lake, it would be the
It is
Chancellor's
Crystal
office.
Lake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Chancellor's office.
His mother's shrine.
The shack. I don't
Yeah,
know. I
dude.
feel like they would just turn the Killer Shack into Jason's shack somehow.
Yeah, I was about to say
That
if
would
they.
be cool.
I was about to say that would be cool. I've also said it before. It would be really fucking neat if the map actually changed the shack. So that would be a cool. Even if it's visual, that would still be really cool because then you could have.
Yeah, because like some maps already do that, like Dead Dog Saloon. I
Borga.
think Borgo. I think
Fucking Garden of Joy does that.
Garden of Joy.
No, I don't think.
I
I think the only one that's ever changed Shack is Dead Dog because Shack's dedicated. Yeah, Shack's dedicated in the middle, and it's the only one with a breakable door. The other ones are just fixed locations.
Yeah, but they're like different shack cosmetics.
Yeah.
I think Mother's Dwelling also changes it. Makes it look more rustic and woody.
Yeah, Mother's Dwelling also changed. And also I want to point out that isn't Ripley's like escape pod Killer Shack?
Yeah. It's basically Killer Shack. Because they could not... The one map, they could not justify a Killer Shack. And it was the fucking Alien chapter. So what do they do? Oh, it's just fucking Ripley's escape pod.
I mean, you could make an argument they also did that with original Dvarka.
Yeah, because that's like original Dvarka's Killer Shack was basically
They just made a habitat into shack.
yeah.
Dvarka?
Yeah, Dvarka. Yeah, Dvarka.
What the fuck map is that? You mean Toba?
Oh
Singularity.
yeah, Toba Landing.
Yeah, that's Toba.
Landing.
Yeah.
Dvarka is the realm. My bad.
Oh, yeah, I was about to say, I was like, the alien planet, right? I just call it Toba Landing because of the area being referred to as the Toba's Landing.
Yeah, the planet from Alien is not actually. That's a whole complicated matter in its own right.
Yeah. But, yeah,
We're getting the whole thing about LV217 and
Yeah. But it would be... Oh, fuck, I forgot, like, 100% what we were talking about, because we kind of went back and forth.
We were talking about Jason.
Yeah, but I was about to say... That I remember, but there was also some of it that I forgot. But yeah, Jason feels like the big 1-0 that they're going to do. Which, if they did Jason now and did something, and I'm not trying to shit on FNAF people, but if they did fucking FNAF for year 10, I would genuinely laugh. Because, like, that is such a fucking... I get it, they got their priorities, they wanted to do Jason, but, like, holy shit, that is such a fucking kick in the teeth to everyone kind of way of doing it. That's just a, here's Springtrap, casually throws him as the year 10 killer.
I mean, I don't mind.
I mean, it would be like I don't think it's as much a big a kick in the teeth as you think it is. Because don't forget, at the end of the day, FNAF is like one of, if not the most requested chapter out there.
At this point, it's an icon.
Yeah,
It is a part of media culture now.
I was about to say that I think I've talked about this plenty on stream, and I've also talked about this with you guys. There is a reason why FNAF might not make it into the game, because some people don't know this, and some people, for some reason, don't want to understand this, which is kind of weird to me, but it has been documented that Scott Cawthon has been harassed by both FNAF fans and DbD fans to get Springtrap in the game. And when Matthew McConaughey has been approached by it, Matthew McConaughey has straight up just said that they don't want FNAF and DbD, because it's not that they don't consider it horror, it's just that they don't want children, and we know what kind of children he's talking about, little kids, getting into Dead by Daylight. Which
you say that, but I think that the conversation has changed on that.
Yeah.
I think that because we've started to see behavior be more open to it. Like they said, like, you know, you see them during AMAs, like, you know, never say never, and then you see it pops up on surveys where it used to not.
Yeah. It's also the fact of it. I'm sorry, I'm going to ruin every fucking FNAF fan out there that wants FNAF and DbD. We're not getting Michael as the survivor. It's Vanessa. My purely educated
guess. So?
Yes. I am sitting here, call it tinfoil hat if you will, but I am sitting here fairly confident, like 87% confident that it's Vanessa. And there's 3 simple reasons. I'm not including the 4th, which is just basically chapters with female survivors do really well. But there are 3 simple reasons. 1, she has a character model. It's a lot easier for behavior to go off of a character model than it is just ideas. Like, I know they fanfic.
Michael does have a design.
Yes, but they probably would want to go with her for the second reason. The first one is she has a model, she has a defined look. Second, she does technically have a, I won't say more direct connection to Afton, because, well, you know, Michael is Afton's son. You can't get any more direct than that. You know, the boy came from the man himself. But given the prospect of the survivors, we've never had a survivor, especially one connected to a killer, that has the technological connection in terms of paranormal. Like, we have Gabriel, right, that has fought against Singularity, who is like a technological terror, but we've never had someone that's just straight up been like fucking possessed or controlled via technology, which I think would be a cool spin and something they would want to explore. Versus
That's not canon.
Wait, what?
Actually. Yeah, Vanny wasn't being controlled by Afton. She was being controlled by the fucking Mimic.
Okay, well, this is where it gets bad. If it really is just a FNAF, it would just be the killer. I'm sorry.
Believe me, the DLC is very good. It is very dumb.
I just don't see FNAF having a survivor. Just because we're supposed to be in their shoes, like that, they're left blanked for a reason.
I can't relate. I literally can't relate.
I mean,
The thing is, like, the Survivor, like, they can do. There's definitely a handful of things they can do. They can do Michael. They can do Vanny. They can age up Gregory. They can age up what's her name from the DLC.
Aged up Gregory would be weird.
Yeah, aged up Gregory would be really okay. To be fair, they did age up Yuichi and technically aged up Cheryl
and Quentin.
Yeah, and Quentin. And I would have said Steve and Nancy, but Steve's like 19 at the end of season 2, which is what he's based off of, and then Nancy's barely 18.
And Lori.
Yeah, Lori. And Jonathan. I'm looking at your icon and I was about to say, why am I blanking on his name? Fucking Stranger Things. Eddie. Even though he's not in the game, they'd probably age up Eddie.
Oh, Eddie's like 22.
Oh, I didn't know. I've never watched Stranger Things, so I didn't know.
Eddie has failed senior year like 4 times.
Damn, it really is.
I like Eddie in the game that's why he has a voice line where just like, is that fucking Vecna?
Actually, to be honest, that would be kind of funny if they finally added him as a skin. Just to imagine Nick Cage, Alan Wake, Eddie, and fucking, I don't know, let's just say they actually do add Vanessa in the game as the fucking FNAF survivor, and there's just Nick Cage going, stop! Alan Wake's screaming, Vanessa's like, oh god, not again, and there's just Eddie, is that fucking Vecna? So they're all having different levels of panic attack. Nick Cage is breaking down, Alan's actually terrified, Eddie's like, oh, okay, and then Vanessa's like, god fucking damn it! That's actually kind of funny now. Oh my god! Please add.
I'm a huge fan. Oh god!
Fact, I'm a huge fan. The fucking meme of that one Hoodwink 2 slaps him away.
Oh god! I just had a thought of they just add one voice line to Vecna. You thought you could control me.
That would be interesting. But, yeah, getting back on topic, because it's not that we're not getting on topic.
We have...
It's gonna be a very creative...
We have been swerving all over the road.
Swerving? We're going down the rapids, motherfucker, and I'm upside down at the bottom of the boat.
There is no road.
And I swerve when I drive, and I swerve when I drive.
Ross was just sitting in the back of the boat, just sitting there eating chips, much like his icon. He's just riding it out.
Gotta have my box of honeycomb.
Yeah. But...
just munch.
I am kind of excited to an extent. The problem I see with new chapters being like, what can they do? That's what makes me a little, like, on edge. Because there's a lot of stuff people want, and there's a lot of stuff that's... I don't think... It's a better way to say I don't think would work, rather than saying it won't work. Because Behavior has proven that if given some liberty, they can make it work. If they somehow
Pyramid Head.
Yeah, I was about to say Pyramid Head, and let's not at all ignore Chucky. Like, they completely reworked their character engine to fucking fit Chucky and made a third-person killer. So,
yeah,
at this point,
Chucky's very easy, but then you said that, it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I was about to say, so at this point, there is nothing they really have... they have proven at this point that...
they got the grit.
Yeah, exactly. I would say, though, in terms of seeing things that are new, I hope Behavior is kind of making enough of a splash that they can start pulling more... I won't say unique, but more, like, random... How do I put this? I've always said that it'd be really cool to see certain chapters, even if it doesn't 100% make sense. Like fucking Twisted Metal. I have always advocated Twisted Metal would be a really good fit for
well, I think
D&D
in general has proven that they do have that capital, because, like, let's not forget, like, while people complain about, like, how D&D is in that, when it's the most valuable IP on the planet.
And Hasbro needs fucking money.
Yeah, and that's kind of my point, where it's like, I would like to see them do more of those...
It's not a cornerstone of horror. It's a cornerstone of media as a whole.
Yeah. And it's that's
I
kind
gotta
of
be honest with bringing that up. I really felt sad we didn't get Strahd, though. I would have preferred Strahd over Vecna.
Don't care.
Apparently Strahd was the original idea, but then Konami came knocking.
God
Don't
damn
care
it,
about
mutant.
Don't
mutant,
care
mutant,
about
mutant,
Strahd. It's all
mutant.
about Dracula.
What? I can hear you. What is it?
We are recording.
Wait.
Out.
everyone.
We're podcast.
Be gone.
Hold on, I have to handle the fucking feral child for a second. Hold on.
Okay. Not saying that Straw would have been bad, but I'm just saying.
I will say, like,
I'm biased.
Ravenloft is absolutely D&D's horror.
Yes.
Much like how
So-
Spelljammers, they're sci-fi, and
For fuck.
I'm not
I
sure what
understand,
Forgotten
like,
Realms.
lore-wise things
Gamma
have
World
always
is
been
supposed to
kind of
talk.
weird.
For fuck's sake.
If you look at how Dead by Daylight does stuff, because there's several killers that you can always make an argument of, like, X would be strong enough to just show up in the entity's realm if they felt like it, or leave if they wanted to, and you're like, it's fun to argue these things, but Vecna honestly makes it feel like he would just pop in and out at his leisure,
That's what he kinda does.
Vecna is the living embodiment of "Nah, I'd win."
There is
Yeah.
a Sasuru Gojo in D&D, and it is Vecna.
Yeah.
It could be worse though. There is one that could have been way, 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 way stronger.
I mean, to be fair, I think
If you know your D&D, I got 3 words for you: Lady of Pain.
I was about,
Oh, not enough people know about that, I feel like, to make that a popular enough option.
That's
Lots
what-
of people ignore Sigil's existence.
I was about to say there's
Which is weird
Vec.
considering like the most popular D&D game is based on it.
I was about to say at this point there's Myers, Freddy, Dredge, technically unknown, Nemesis, Pyramid Head, Wesker, technically Blight, and Vecna that all logically and reasonably in some way should be able to take the entity on.
The unknown put up a fight, then lost.
Yeah, but
the unknown canonically lost.
yes, but to be fair, we still don't know how far its power set really extends.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, because technically speaking, Freddy lost too. It states that his powers are changed, but we all know that's because technically speaking, Freddy isn't a direct physical threat, but he is a fucking threat nonetheless. So it's the same thing, different story.
But we can see several different ways that Vecna has a power set that would outweigh most of these people, because Vecna can literally pull Alan Wake stuff at will and just rewrite reality to do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
horrifying part.
Vecna would see Alan Wake at the typewriter and go, "Ooh, I'll have a bit of that."
But
That's why the entity put on that new mark on Vecna's neck, whatever it's called.
The Sigil of Negation?
Yeah, that one.
Or Mark of Negation,
Okay.
Mark of Negation.
I'm gonna move us back on topic again, but yeah, that's me knocking out Nick real quick. Anyway, but going back on it, yeah, I am kind of excited for what chapters. I just hope they do more ass pulls like that, because like I said, I really want Twisted Metal. I know Ross has told me and shared his concept about Malignant. That's the movie, right? With what's his...
Yeah, with Gabriel.
I mean, Lord knows I have concepts for all sorts of things.
Yeah.
I want Dead Space and DVD.
I'm sitting on about half dozen of concepts of this will never happen, but
I have an entire list that I want.
it's like I got a fucking half-finished Adam concept. I have a half-finished
I was about
Bray Wyatt concept.
I was about to say, me sitting here with Twisted Metal and the more impossible likely thing, Eternal Darkness.
That's not
Fucking-
happening because the creator's a pedophile.
What?
Was it? Did he turn out to be a sex pest or something like that?
The creator,
Like he
the
started working on a sequel, and
the,
then it came out.
you mean the guy who basically made Silicon Knights? No, I've never heard of this.
Yeah, let me find his. He might not have been a pedophile. It was some sort of sex
Whoa.
thing.
Mass, what the fuck? No, I have never heard this.
Let me cook here with my. Let me cook here.
Blake is Blake's gonna be gone for a second, but anyway, back on topic. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, that one came out of fucking left field on my front. But yeah, no.
Yeah. Eternal Darkness is never getting into Dead by Daylight. Never ever.
Oh, let's not. Well, let's leave that buried. Let's leave that buried where you found it. Let's leave that buried where you found it. Just like Eternal Darkness, I guess. But,
yeah, that's
Okay. Anyway,
let's just say I was right the first time.
But yeah, there is a lot of stuff that they should be able to do. There's also the fact of like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be kind of completely. I will be completely honest. It would be kind of fun for them to do those more random chapters. But it is kind of.
I think Dead by Daylight, once they try and keep it around horror at least.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
Like D&D is something that can be hammered into horror.
Yeah, same with.
And Nick Cage is a horror actor.
Yeah. And personally, for me, Twisted Metal has always had that edge of horror and dark comedy. I mean, considering its mascot is a psychotic clown.
A lot of people are saying that the next licensed survivor is going to be Daryl Dixon from Walking Dead, and I personally can't see that happening.
Don't remind me.
I think that next licensed survivor is Frank West.
As someone who absolutely hates Walking Dead, with Daryl being one of the reasons.
You have the most interesting takes in this entire call.
To be honest,
First Long John Silver is now this.
My only hope is that Norman Reedus voices him and has voice lines, so I can pretend he's one of the innumerable other Norman Reedus characters.
Norman Reedus and his funky fetus?
I was thinking about a certain demon, but still.
I will. What was I gonna say? I will bring up. Okay, so I think it's fair to say we've talked about our positives. All the stuff of like chapters, what we want to see, the speculation, stuff like that. Year 8's being good. Okay, let's talk about some shit that we want to see happen. Let's talk about the negatives. Let's get into the stuff that people are definitely going to crucify us for. I'll say this first, just to get us started on some shit that I know a lot of people out there will fucking crucify me for, but I'm going to say it. All y'all out there that hate Knight and Skull Merchant, y'all pussies. Y'all dumbasses.
I think DC penalties should be harsher.
Yes. Unless they
DC, you get tried in the Hague.
They need to touch up the underrated perks.
I think DC penalties should be harsher unless your internet cuts off. That's you can't help that.
Okay, I could guarantee you. All right, can Lawrence tell a personal story about DbD for this podcast?
Sure.
Okay.
Oh, hey, Grandpa's gonna tell a story.
You're older than me. You fuck your grandpa.
Pulls out no reverse card.
Fuck's sake. Anyway.
You're both grandpas to me.
Shut the fuck up, Nick.
Silence, child.
I'll kick the both of you. I'm old enough to fight you, Nick, and win, and I'm young enough to beat Mass into the ground, and by his logic, I win either way. I only have Ross to fear.
Oh, you fool. I'm trained in how to use a sword.
Same here. Anyway, on the real note, so...
Go, gadget, gun.
Me, a
okay, if you're a coward.
Actually, to be fair, me as a slinger maid, go gadget gun. Anyway, let me tell you a real story.
Crazy.
Let me tell a real story about dealing with behaviors, customer service. Now, granted, this was about year 4. This was when I still lived with my parents, so the internet was fucking shite. And I had received essentially a 6-hour ban because the internet kept cutting the fuck out. It was completely out of my control, and I could fucking prove, I basically could prove that it wasn't my fault. It was my internet provider. So I called up, I emailed the fucking service and was like, hey, here's everything, here's this, blah, blah, blah. I'm not rage quitting, because other people have discussed, back in the day when they first implemented the DC penalties, hey, if you can prove it, they will fucking, they will remove the penalties and stuff. Straight up did that. I got a response back from, oh my god, I forget her name, but she's kind of prominent. Not Randy. What's her name? Like
Mandy?
Mandy, yes, Mandy. I got a message essentially from Mandy that was like, the customer service representative, first of all, was nice and explained, like, we recommend like this and this and this internet provider, and I had explained, showed the proof, and then essentially Mandy, I think, if she wasn't the customer service, she came back and basically was just like, well, yeah, no, that's your own fucking problem. And I just sat there with, I just sat there with a fucking grimace on my face and had to endure fucking 6 to 12 hours of not being able to play Dead by Daylight. So while I agree on the DC penalties, they will never fucking do what you say, Nick, because I will guarantee you, if they make it harsher, at that point, they'll just IP ban your ass if you DC more than 4 times a day. Fuck it.
Yeah.
I will say that they're,
as a champion of the fuck them survivors, fuck them survivors.
What about killers?
I've never DC'd a day in my life that wasn't an act of God.
I think, I do think that their customer service has gotten a little better. They're branching out into, more, mediums to contact their players, not just, social media platforms, but I think they're also announcing that there's gonna be, a messenger system in-game for feedback from the game directly.
Oh, that's another thing.
I can't comment.
Wasn't that
on their customer
already
service,
kind of a thing?
So.
Kind of, but more so in a sense where you have to report other players for making the game problematic. But this is just I think it's essentially a you send your own feedback in game to the developers.
Okay, I have a spicy question because Ross, you just made me think of something. So we have all seen the tweet that they put out about the collaborators or whatever it was.
Oh yeah, tweet.
Yeah, where they're going to be having collaborators that work with that work directly with DbD, essentially. Like they're working with.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's be continuing to be a little spicy. Who's the creators you want to see on that collaboration team working with behavior?
Odds has to be one of them.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I would say, okay. I was actually going to say that I don't think Otz will be one of them, and let me explain why. Otz has been very vocal about not wanting to know what future content is.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Perhaps he could be more of a consultant.
Maybe, but I think it's that feels like a whole complex situation in its own right.
It's always the best people that don't want the job.
Well, I mean, they know they don't want it because at the end of the day, they understand that.
Allow me to give the worst possible choice. True.
Oh God!
They just know it's gonna be, bad, or maybe not up to expectation, or maybe because they are an influencer, they do have influence. At the end of the day.
I think we should.
Just doesn't want the added pressure.
I think we should bring back the worst enemy to be a consultant. You ready to hear this?
Don't say Ochido.
God, who is it?
Former behavior dev Patrick Harris.
Who?
The guy that took Dowsy's shirt.
Okay, the guy who said that looping isn't a skill.
Oh, Mr. Hockey bald ass.
Yeah, that guy.
Mister, you could throw him on the ice rink and send his ass into the hockey goal. Okay.
Actually, you don't need to have skill to loop.
I'm just hoping, like, because these people are essentially like top players, top MMR. They play the game very frequently, so they know what they're talking about. So of course, I'm hoping that they don't have any kind of bias towards one side, whether it be like for Killer or Survivor.
Yeah.
And I think Hens is confirmed to be one of them. And Hens, while I don't watch him, he does seem he does like he is under the group with Aaron and Otsudarva, where they know what they're talking about.
And you're.
And yeah, Yerm.
Yeah.
Hens does seem level-headed to me, so...
Yeah, I was about to say... I was also going to say, too, as far as my pick, I agree with Otts. I also agree with True not being in there. I'm sorry, there are some points on True I do agree with, but a lot of his takes are just kind of like... Eh?
Oh yeah, True's one of those people who will occasionally say a good thing that's like, horrible, the worst person you know has made a good point.
My opinion is more of like... It's the meme of Will Smith going, he's got spirit. He's a little confused, but he's got spirit. Or it's like, it makes sense, but it's like, huh? Like what he... I'm sorry, I was going to say, when he talked about the fucking people smurfing and shit, or it's like... I thought about it for a second, I'm like, I'm pretty sure they made an account at some point for like an experiment, but at that point that account's like invalid now? Or something like that. Like they've been using it for a while for that series, so it's like, it doesn't even matter. So even if he had a point, it's null now? Sort of thing? I don't know. I will say, in terms of that collaboration, it sounds kind of shitty for me, and I think fucking... I think, hilariously, Ross might smack me with a shovel for saying this, but I don't want people like, Yerv in the collaboration circle. I know he's not been on DbD for a while, but I think that is kind of a fair case. Mostly because he's more of the he's more of the casual, he's more of the dick around kind of player.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, that's not even a hot take for me, because Yerv is just there for the fun.
Yeah.
I mean, like, of course he has his own opinions and everything, but like, if you're gonna like if you're gonna get actual playtesters, Yerv, of course, like, I wouldn't mind Yerv being one of them, but at the same time, I would understand if Yerv didn't want to be involved in that sort of thing, because he's just there for the fun.
Yeah.
He's a casual player, first and foremost.
Yeah. There's also the fact...
I love the guy, but...
There's also the fact of, like, personally, and this is just me being kind of, like, completely honest, it would be nice that once they... I hope soon that they release it and we can kind of see... And hopefully they do also take more of the community feedback, too, in that as well. Because that is another thing. This is also another hot take that I'm going to say. I don't understand the point of Fog Whispers. There hasn't been a point of Fog Whispers in a fucking long-ass time. And the last time there was anything worth talking about with Fog Whispers was when fucking Dowsy went on that tirade about his shirt or whatever.
Fog Whisperers, the point is just, are they just Twitch content creators that the devs like? That's it.
It's influencers.
They're
influencer
DbD influencers, yeah.
Yeah,
Scott John made a video about it briefly.
Oh, don't get me started on Scott. Fucking, I will.
I was about to say...
Scott John is a person who I'm firmly of the belief he is furious that he is not a Fog Whisperer. He acts like he isn't. But I am positive that man is seething that he isn't.
All I want is a shirt.
Scott John is definitely a creator.
Actually, you know what? This isn't like on the list of things that I had, but I want to know. I want to know from everyone. One is a fucking underrated DbD content creator for everyone here.
Me.
I can't comment on that.
Shut the fuck up, Nick.
Outside of like the main ones.
Shut the fuck up, Nick. Shut the fuck up.
It's me.
Bro,
Wait,
bro
don't
said
think
I
any
will
DbD
break
count.
my. Bro said I will break my spine to fucking give myself the pleasure. Fuck off.
No. You remove a rib for that.
I don't give a shit.
I think the most underrated creator to me is fucking Pixelbush, honestly.
Yeah,
I guess Pixel counts, yeah.
I would agree with that, but personally, Rowby, in my personal opinion.
Oh, and Spoiled Fruit. He makes DbD content too.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't know who the fuck that is.
Exactly, that's why you said underrated.
Yeah, to be fair, I was about to say answers that question to a T. Also, Blake has been silent this entire time. He's just been enjoying the chaos.
I have been. Also, I don't have a good answer for your question.
Me neither. I feel like the DbD content, I guess,
Oh, I got one.
area.
Zedder.
It's just they're always so divided. They never really are on the same page. It feels like,
Yeah.
you know,
What do you mean?
like
What do you mean?
one content creator will have one opinion on one thing, and then another seems it's fine or like doesn't need any changes. You know, stuff like that. They're just not on the same page when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
For I guess if I had to pick one, like gun to my head, I'd say Zedder.
Okay.
What the fuck is this?
Ross,
Oh, those are organs.
What?
do you have an answer for this, or?
For who I want as a...
No, who do you feel isn't an underrated content creator for Dead by Daylight?
Oh, an underrated content creator?
Yes.
Honestly, the first person that comes to my mind is Bazazzle. Or Gavin. I've been watching a lot of his videos, because, you know, I usually just watch people to, like, play killer, when they're running fun builds and shit. And I think his commentary is pretty funny as well, so...
Okay. I gotcha. Yeah. There was something I was going to talk about since we were talking about content creators. We talked about the consultant thing, and I just brought up the underrated one just for the fucking fun of it. Oh, I guess there will be something I will talk about. So I know Mass talked about Scott Jund. We brought up Scott Jund, and I'll bring up Spook and Jukes, but they brought up a video, or both of them have made a video about talking about DbD being this kind of like toxic environment. To which I'll take. Let's add our 2 cents into that. Let's add our fucking opinions to the melting pot, even if we're essentially just the equivalent of, you know, fucking grease boiling in the pan. But
I mean, yeah, it's toxic, but that's just every other community that I go to. So
me, a Fallout and JoJo and Borderlands fan. What else is new?
Toxicity is always going to be something that's kind of impossible to deal with.
exactly, Mass.
It's because it is entirely community controlled, and whenever you try and do something to combat it, it is immediately met with anger.
There's
like,
no pleasing everyone.
Yeah.
Because chat filters. The only one I've ever liked is Overwatch is because that one had sass.
That's fair. I was about to say, I was going to say in my case, my big problem with DbD with the toxicity is just how weird it is. Like, it's weird. And it's part of my problem because it's like, I feel like part of DbD's problem is if we skip past what everyone else has talked about, you know, the tribalism, the fucking asim part of it, you know, the fact that the game was designed in some ways to be stressful from the developers and they constantly still do that. it's this weird, like, antagonism. Like, there's a lot of people who play this game to be antagonistic, like, intentionally, regardless of what side they play. Now, I will say, it is more survivors. I don't really fucking care what people fucking say. It's 4v1. Statistically, survivors make up more of that statistic, but that's in chance rather than numbers, if that makes sense. Like, you're more likely. Go ahead.
Like a Swift group?
Yeah, you're more likely to encounter it because of friends who try hard at the game and want to fucking sweat, or a group of people who get together because they like trolling a killer, than a fucking shithead who's intentionally face camping you as Bubba to ruin your day. And to be fair,
Although those certainly do exist.
yes, that's what I'm trying to say. It's not
But
that one
They're
side.
different extremes.
Yes, I'm not trying to say one exists more than the other because, 4v1. It's just more of you're more likely to encounter it because of the 4, because there's 4 of them, not one of them at one given time. But I will say, at least from my perspective, this is why a lot of the times that you see me stream, I don't fucking bother saying with GG. I don't really care. I just move on to the next match. I've encountered some weird shit. I think I've told Blake this story. Ross, I don't remember if I've told you this. And Nick was there. Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
Remember that time I was playing and it was like you and me and Neo were just hanging out? It was just the 3 of us. I was playing DbD. And this guy just goes the fuck off, dropping the hardest R's you've ever heard.
Oh, yeah!
Like
that?
Yeah.
Happened?
Okay, so let me explain the story for everyone. Long story short, this was... I forget what killer I was playing. I want to say it was one of the Chainsaw Bros, because I remember it being like... I remember...
Pretty sure it was Billy.
Yeah, I was pretty sure it's Bubba or Billy. I remember it was one of those two. Because I distinctively remember using a chainsaw. I remember this also being about the time when Springwood first got reworked. So this was when they started working on the map reworks and everything. So this was about late year 4 to mid year 5? I don't know. Long story short, to get back on track. We played, it was a regular match, nothing bad happened, no one even like teabagged, clicky-clicky, no one did anything. Everyone played it like straightforward as if we were on camera, and we had guns to our heads. Like, we came out of it, like, next what did I say? I said, like, literally, GG, that was a really good game. And this guy just comes out of the fucking woodworks, dropping the hardest fucking R's. And it wasn't even about me. He was talking about like his teammates, and he was he was talking about his teammates, which, by the way, makes it worse because no one was playing a character of color. Everyone was playing white people. Played Bubba, so he's white, and he's just going off saying this and that, and it's the most racist shit I've ever heard in my life, even compared to some COD lobbies. And I was like, it was like, what the fuck are you on about? And he's just going off. Like, there got to a point where me, Nick, and Neo were all like, oh, what the fuck? Like, I actually stopped the stream, like I was covering Nick and Neo's eyes, like, good lord. And 2 days fucking later...
I don't think I was there, but this sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah, because we told everyone, because... there was a phrase I couldn't fucking say it. I looked at Nick and I'm like, should we even say this? And Nick was just like, well, he said this, that, this, and this. He didn't actually say it. Nick was just like, he said it in the context of this, and everyone was like, oh! Fun fact, that guy got banned about 2 weeks later, like perma IP banned. And I re-encountered him.
To the...
Yeah, I re-encountered him. Which is even funnier, because apparently now he has a posse to protect himself. And when I re-encountered him, I was just like, damn. You really needed bodyguards to play with in order to not get banned from this game. How many accounts have you gone through now? And he goes 5. Yeah, that's
I'm
I
just
am
gonna do some quick.
surprised at this determination.
yeah. That's
See.
what's weird about DbD's toxicity problem.
5 at $20 a pop. That's over $100.
Yeah, it's like
That's assuming that they're not buying any DLC.
yeah. That's what's so weird about DbD. It's such a weird, like, why does this exist problem.
Why are they so obsessed on coming back?
I don't know. And that's the other problem, too, with it. It's like a lot of people pointed out, you know, they say the tribalism, this and that, and it's like, yeah, but that's never going to be fixed. Like, a big thing that I've talked about on my streams about what's so annoying is how efficiently people play, and then they say there's no other way to play, or that's how they prefer playing. Like, as Nick said, games have toxicity. And the same thing goes for, there will always be assholes who want to fucking be competitive, try hard, and be efficient. I had PTSD the other day from seeing a Battlefield 3 meme of just, oh my god, the fucking black camo G18 suppressed fucking AEK people. I'm out here fucking having a panic attack thinking about it. God damn. But like...
Oh yeah, and if I could give a Fortnite perspective, every time I see a marshmallow skin, I just go, that's going to be the motherfucker. That's the asshole.
Yeah, exactly. But with DbD, it just doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, it doesn't make sense in this game that, yes, is competitive to be an asshole, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense in this game, which is built for the casual audience in mind, to hardcore work to win every match. Like, I don't get it. I don't know. Maybe I'm stupid.
Well, I mean, I have an answer for that.
If I can give, like, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not I don't sort of see that as someone who does play to win. I'm not going to sit here and say I don't play to win. But, like, I'm not an asshole about it. But, like...
I mean, that's all technically in perspective, isn't it? Because, I mean, you can feel like you're not an asshole, but it all depends on
I
the
don't
other
engage
people
in,
you're
like,
playing
post...
with. Yeah.
I don't engage in post-game unless it's, like, truly a dreadful match.
Or you
Okay.
or you witness a man drop the hard R several times to a point that it's like, ooh.
Oh no, I see that. I see that as
Ooh.
just like, Jesus, tap dancing Christ. Pulls out the popcorn.
You and I,
That's awful.
Yeah, I was about to say, you and I have
Like-
two very different perspectives. Me shielding Nick's eyes.
I'm watching with concern, but it is entertaining, concerning,
Bro,
and I
you
will be
are-
reporting him.
Bro, you are Kramer in the fucking hospital, aren't you, with the fucking mint joys?
I don't know what that means.
A
You never
Seinfeld reference in this day and age?
Yes.
A Seinfeld reference I don't understand.
Have you never seen that episode?
No.
There's an episode where fucking Kramer and Jerry go to a operating theater at the hospital, and fucking Kramer's eating like milk joys or like mint joys or whatever they are. You know, the mints with chocolate around them. And
No, not Thin Mints. Junior Mints.
yeah, Junior Mints. And because fucking Jerry's giving him a hard time because he snuck it in, they fight over it, which causes Kramer to throw one in the air and it falls in the guy's body.
Fitz is here.
Oh, okay. Which also, as a result, results in the guy having to go back to the hospital because of the operation being botched, but it also saved his life because he apparently had, like, cancer or something. Also, everyone, welcome on in the man himself, a skeleton, Fitz. Alright, hello, Fitz.
All right.
Hello.
Welcome to
Hey.
all.
Hello, Fitz, you have missed some fucking conversation pieces.
Okay, so I have like nearly 2 hours worth of stuff I've missed. What's going on?
We are currently talking about why people are talking about toxicity and our views on it, to which everyone is basically in agreement of, when it comes to DbD, why? The same way a lot of us are just kind of like, we understand people wanting to win, but why? Why make the game
Like-
unfun?
It's only game. Don't
Yes.
take it serious.
Yes, and I say this as a
That-
fucking...
that works-
Down,
That works
boy.
for people that are sane and can hear and understand critical responses and shit like that. That does not work for regular people. Regular people that are in here sweating are just like, how dare you tell me how to enjoy things? I will fucking kill you.
I also told the story. I also told the story of Fitz. If you remember, remember that. Oh, there goes Ross. Oh, hold on.
I think Ross is still on the call.
Nah, he popped off. He's just heading out. He's getting tired, so that's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. We'll consider it a little
So,
bit of a small.
other than that, what all of you guys talked about?
The positives, speculation on new chapters. We'll give Fitz a moment here to recap his thoughts. So, what have you liked about Year 8? What are your thoughts on the DnD chapter? And given the they have confirmed collaboration with or not collaboration, consolidating with collaborators. What are your picks? Also, Nick, for fuck's sake. I could hear your keyboard.
Someone was furiously typing there.
Nick was embodying the meme of it's a movie about monkeys. You don't have to go hard. Phil Collins when writing the music for Tarzan.
Man.
It's a movie about apes. You don't need to go hard.
Yeah.
Matt Reeves when directing Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, good lord, bro, make it a symphony. But what's your...
Okay, so I am personally of the opinion that at least content-wise and like in terms of like communication between the devs and the community, I think Year 8 has been the best year that DbD has ever had.
Nice.
Yeah, you all have brought. Okay, so like my Year 8 has been like my second full year that I've actually been part of the community, so I'd say I came away from it rather fondly. Like, I think the chapters over and like content overall has been great. Personal highlights for me are of course Alien. Like, I've harped on it like multiple times, and like also the execution of all things Wicked is like, I genuinely think it's the best chapter roll that Behavior has ever done. As for speculation for what Year 9 is, like, I think the D&D chapter is great. Really interested to see what they do with Castlevania. I really want to get my hands on casting Frank Stone, and I'm interested to see what that other game is going to be like.
Oh yeah, that Project T thing that honestly doesn't look very good, in my opinion. I forgot that's happening.
I'm curious to see where they go with it because it's still in like very early development.
Yeah, it could obviously change a lot. I'm not discounting it, but early impressions are not good.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Project T, or what it's called.
Oh, I'm interested, kinda.
Yeah. Also, what's your take on the D&D chapter?
I think D&D chapter, just summing it up, I think it's great. I think Vecna could use quite a few buffs because for once Behavior actually played it semi-conservative with how they chose to balance a killer in a PTB, but overall I think his power is fantastic.
Amazing that he's using spells.
Yep. And the fact they got Matt Mercer to voice it, even better.
That's cool.
Matt Mercer, the huge D&D fan.
Well, yeah, he kind of runs the biggest D&D podcast.
Yeah. But
It's also
go ahead.
also like it's helped me like get more into D&D as a whole while researching like who Vecna is and what his entire history with the game is. I genuinely think he's becoming a personal favorite character of mine. Like,
Hey, Lord knows it's gotten me back on my tabletop bullshit. Although, admittedly, I'm not doing D&D. I found a homemade Hellverse. The brain words are talking again. Don't mind me.
fair enough.
You're good. But
I think I figured out how that system works. I just need to think of things and stuff.
yay. But also, we talked about chapter speculation, and I know, Feds, you're sitting there tapping your foot, Bioshock chapter win.
If I could will that into existence, I could.
You
In
need
fact,
to will.
I'm literally doing that right now.
You need to will 2K into listening to behavior.
Yeah, I was about to say, I think
Yep.
that's more of a 2K issue at this rate.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I was about to say, too. Actually, talking on that front, because we were talking about toxicity and stuff. Oh, fuck, I just forgot it. I just had it pop in my brain, and now it just went away.
But before we get to that, I'm gonna talk about what I think is gonna happen this year.
Okay.
Okay, first this off that solo license killer. I'm just gonna be upfront. I don't think it's gonna be Jason. Nope.
I
So,
think
yeah,
actually,
I
how
would have to say that.
Go on.
Wait, what? Who's talking?
I think it's either you or Lawrence that was talking.
I was gonna say hilarious.
I
I was gonna say hilarious.
I
I
did
think
make-
everyone's 50-50 on that.
Yeah.
I will say though, I think it'd be the funniest fucking thing ever if it was actually Slender Man. Not that I think it will be Slender Man, but I just think it'd be very funny.
We're saying there could be Slenderman. What if they finally do it and add Candyman?
That would also be excellent.
Yeah.
That would be sick as hell. Won't happen, but it'd be sick.
Would be. Also, I was gonna say, I think I remember.
No, that's the real final DbD chapter.
Candyman.
All your tinfoil hats have become true. Be his victim. The final chapter.
Yeah. Alright.
I don't even know.
Honestly, I have less to say about the licensed solo survivor. I'm 50-50 on it either being Walking Dead or Dead Rising, honestly. It's looking like it's going to be either of them.
It better be
And
different.
for the original chapter coming this year, I have literally no idea.
Honestly, oh, go ahead, Lauren.
I was about to say, it better be Frank West.
I was gonna say honestly, it might be Dead Rising just because Capcom just it was a Resident Evil like type of stat, so I was like, oh, maybe it's hinting with Capcom saying, oh, hey, we're doing Dead Rising because that has zombies too.
And if they could get like Konami to do a second full collab with them with Castlevania, they could do something again with Capcom.
I was about to say, we said it earlier, there's 2 RE chapters and now Castlevania. If Dead Rising isn't on the menu, this makes no fucking sense.
No, the solo survivor is a Resident Evil only chapter.
Okay, I will kick. Alright, fuck off with Resident Evil. I know there's
They-
two. I know there's like
they
two
No,
or three super
The
RE
solo
fans here.
survivor is the solo survivor is Ethan Whitmer.
Finally!
The winners.
Lady Dimitrescu. The Hardy
yes.
Wars begin anew.
Anyway,
Your first person survivor.
I was about to say,
Yeah.
considering that there's Nick, Alpine,
Yes.
and Blake here who
Because
are all RE
You are
fans.
not allowed to see Ethan's face even in the enemy's realm.
His face is still just... He's got a hood. He's wearing a hood that obscures his face.
Can you just imagine it's like a gacha game or some bullshit where the entity summons Ethan to be in the realm? He goes, wait a minute, where's his face? And then in the background, you just see Capcom be like, he doesn't have one.
There's just Dwight standing. There's just Dwight standing next to him, drawing a Lenny face on him.
Capcom keeps saying he doesn't have one. That's just a
that.
fucking lie.
Shh, don't worry about that.
Sorry,
Anyway,
I'm playing RimWorld. It's just massive snake creature just nearly jump scared me.
no, you're good. I actually remembered what I was going to talk about. So let's talk about a subject which I think is kind of funny, and I think something that I won't say is taboo in DbD to talk about, but let's talk about other ASIMs. Let's talk about DbD survivability. Let's talk about an elephant in the room, which is kind of funny because Alpine, you are kind of an expert on other, at least gun media ASIMs with Friday the 13th and TCM, and y'all know me being
Absolutely, yeah.
and you guys know me, I was huge into Evil Dead before they fucking just up and decided to kill it.
I play Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, so...
Oh, yeah, that's another one. That one fell under my radar. I didn't even realize it was an ASIM. But
yeah, and somehow it's still fucking going. Like, what the?
Most of
I would also like to throw in...
Licensed Survivor coming this year is just the entire original Ghostbusters crew.
I will fucking shit myself, man. I will be so fucking hyped, man.
Don't kill a poor child.
I like to throw in Outlast Trials as well, because that is a thing.
But that's just how I was, having my soul evicted from my body when I first found out that when Alien was first revealed.
Let's see. For survivability, I think at this point DbD isn't great itself to the point where
it's a Smash Bros. Of horror, so
yeah.
Short of behavior killing it so they can make a sequel, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I do not see them doing that ever.
I see them doing it maybe late, like year 15.
Yeah, I was about to say
if they wanted to do it, the engine upgrade was the best opportunity for them to try that bullshit.
Yeah.
They didn't, so...
Yeah, I was about to say... That's kind of where I'm going with this, because, like, the other major thing is, like, a lot of ASIMs have not survived or aged very well in comparison to Dead by Daylight, which a lot of that has got to do with the very simple content cycle, which is 3 months, news chapter, maybe it's a new killer, maybe it's a new survivor at this point, maybe it's both, right? And that's
and then between those months, we get battle passes.
Yeah, we get battle passes with content tweaks constantly happening, major chapter rebalances / character rebalances. That's kind of my big thing, though, because this is
I think. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Okay, so I think another thing is I think a lot of the ASIMs that have died just they lose momentum or they do something profoundly stupid.
Yeah, I think another reason too is a lot of them are licensed.
And there's also the fact that the ASIM genre is inherently a delicate tightrope of balance. I once saw someone say that Dead by Daylight is the worst balanced game of all time.
Oh, you saw that video too?
Bull fucking shit. Dead by Daylight is immaculately balanced.
It's immaculately balanced, but I've seen far worse balance in other games. I've seen how awful things can really be.
I would have agreed with that in year 4, honestly, going on year 5, but now it's kind of like... My opinion on DbD's balance is like... I personally think it's more fun when DbD is unbalanced, when like Pop completely shuts down a generator and everyone has adrenaline that's OP, but every perk has to be on that same level, sort of thing. Like, either every perk is shit or every perk is fucking off the records plus buckle up sort of thing. Everything's supposed to be fun. That's how I feel like it. So, yeah, everyone has tools to be a shitter, but like I said, everyone has tools to be a shitter.
Like, when it comes to, like, talking about, like, how ASIMs fuck up balance, I can think of 2 prime examples that pretty solidly leech off of Dead by Daylight's sort of aesthetic and style.
VHS
and IDV.
Oh, bro, there's also, I don't know if you guys ever played it, but last year.
And Matt's, when you said that ASIMs tend to like completely implode themselves because of stupid reasons. My favorite of that was the example of that was last year the Nightmare with the whole Pennywise situation.
Oh.
Yeah, this is what Pennywise would look like in our game. He's not in our coming game. He's not coming to the game. He's not coming to the game. He's not coming to the game. Why would you post that then?
Yeah, why would you even fucking post that?
Like you're like asking for yourselves to get suited to the ground for that.
Like,
Yeah.
I will say there's one ASIN that I am shocked is still alive.
Which is?
Dark Deception, Monsters and Mortals.
Oh yeah,
That's an ASIM?
Didn't they get a Silent Hill collab before DbD did?
Yes, it is.
Pretty
Because I do know.
Oh no, it got a Silent Hill collab right after Dead by Daylight. It also had again louder for people in the back, had a collab with Yandere Simulator.
No.
Yep.
No. Loading the RPG.
Bobby's Playtime as well.
No. Loading the incendiary rockets.
They cut it out. The DLC no longer exists, and you can only play them if you own them.
Fuck that shit. Anyway, I don't want to fucking.
It also has Poppy's Playtime.
I don't want to touch either of those. I'm loading the Fat Man. Anyway,
Actually, no. It recently got a really wild license. Hold up.
Did it?
Game.
But yeah, the reason I talk about that is because there is the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game coming out.
Oh,
and I'm not gonna lie at this point. I don't think a lot of ASIMs actually have a lot of steam, if that makes sense. I wanted to talk about this in the ASIM survivability, because we all agree most ASIMs kind of falter. They don't have a lot of steam after their initial release. There are some exceptions being Gun Media stuff, the Evil Dead game, kind of VHS in last year, and of course there's Dead by Daylight.
Oh yeah, it has a couple. ASIM Monsters has fucking 2 Roblox horror games coming to it.
Oh my god.
Piggy and Doors.
Right?
You know what? I'm not gonna lie, both for the sake of keeping things on track, but also the fact of just those names alone make me not want to fucking talk about it. Let's go back to what we were talking about. Not that. But,
Anyway.
Its balance is also fucked because Sybil just has a gun.
Oh my god. But,
Coca.
yeah, no, that is something, though, with ASIMs. They just don't survive. I think it's fair to say, too, a lot of ASIMs are mismanaged. Because
absolutely.
I will say this, because...
Oh, that is putting it very lightly.
Yeah,
remember Predator Hunting Ground?
Oh my god, yeah.
Actually, that one's still going.
Yeah, and it's getting a re-release, and it's coming to other platforms.
But,
I used to play the shit out of that game.
I might actually pick that one up. I'm gonna be honest.
But the reason I talk about that is because, the only one that has managed to stay, I think, long-term, both due to its success / legal battles, is hilariously TCM. Which, I hate saying that, because I feel like the Evil Dead game would have survived a lot longer if they didn't gut development. I actually really like that one.
I feel like Evil Dead the game is kind of the poster child for poorly managed ASIM games at the moment.
Bro, it is the...
Oh, that in VHS.
I'll put it this way. Evil Dead is the poster child of poorly managed by a company that doesn't give a shit. In VHS is the poster child of desperately and poorly managed to become a competitor. One is if we're going to use the joke about mascot horror, one is Hello Neighbor, the other one is Poppy's Playtime. Guess which one is which.
Alright, man.
It is Poppy's Playtime.
You both lagged on mine.
I said that's kind of hard to say, man.
That's hard to say because Poppy eventually got good.
Yeah, but that's That's kind of my point. Evil Dead.
VHS was never good.
Well, then Poppy's playtime is Evil Dead. Which works in opposite. I completely failed on that example. Anyway, my point being, especially as somebody who is a big fan of the Evil Dead game, it punched me in the gut. And it's also really sad to see Texas Chainsaw in, like... And I know, Alpine, you will probably fight me on what I'm about to say, but life support mode. Because it's like, it is a really cool game. But I will say those games have affected their own longevity because of that. And I think that's where they've affected DbD, too. Because I do think those games have affected DbD in both a positive and negative. Both of them have been competitors to DbD, which I think has kicked behavior in the ass a couple times to get better. But also, it's shown... DbD typically has strengths outside of just being the top dog. Which is creativity. Now, I will say... That's not shitting on other ASIMs. To be honest, the only ASIM I'll ever truly shit on is last year, because that was a horrible experience. Like, that was the actual least fucking fun game I have ever played, / the least fun ASIM. Because, hey,
wasn't last year, like, Discord store exclusive for, like, its first release?
Yes, it was.
Oh, and it's been revived.
Also, by the way, do you like fighting giant spiders for 90% of the match? Because the meta...
depends very heavily.
One of the 3 meta fucking, like, monsters to have on your team is a giant killer spider, because they constantly spawn, regardless of whether you playing as them or not, constantly spawns baby killer spiders to fight them. And
like, giant killer spider, it varies on how tuned and, like, did the devs actually put, like, thought into its gimmick?
No. It is just basically, at that point, last year with the fucking giant spider mama, basically is Left 4 Dead. The ASIM. I even talked about it. I remember talking with a friend back in the day about, like, last year in DbD doing a crossover, where last year got the Legion as one of the killers, and the gimmick about them is that, like, the Legion, like, there's 4 of them, and they're essentially the same, like, strength as the teenagers, but their gimmick is that they can move faster when activating Feral Frenzy, and they can hunt separate. So 3 of them are essentially AI, one of them is controlled by the player, and they hunt the teenagers down and rapidly take them out. But
I just remembered of us. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just going to say, so they're good about injuring and causing status effects, but they're not actually good about getting the finishing blows. Much like how they are in Daylight.
I just remember that last year, Nightmares getting a collab with Toxic Avenger.
Shut
what?
The fuck up.
Yeah.
Wait,
you guys didn't know that?
No.
Tell me everything you know now.
Nick.
I am the #1 Toxie man in this entire building.
Keep it in your pants, keep it in the DMs, for fuck's sake. Anyway, to keep on track. Yeah, no. It's what's heartbreaking, because, like, I will say too, I wanna like Texas Chainsaw more.
I bought Lloyd Kaufman's book.
Mm-hmm.
I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but, like, I think it's fair to agree, a lot of us agree that game is very short term, and it shouldn't be short term. And part of that is due to, like we talked about, mismanagement. Because, Alpine, I actually kind of wanted your thoughts on TCM. On TCM and how Gun's managing it, where they keep saying, like, we want a game for casuals, but they make this slightly more hyper-competitive game, even if you want to argue it's more competitive than DbD.
Here you go, Matt. I put in arcade chat.
Huh? Weird. Well, the state of TCM, it's definitely...
God damn,
I want to say more casual, because the perks barely have any effect. I mean, they have effect, but it's not in the same way as, like, DbD's perks do.
Yeah.
They're not as strong. They're more... Your stats are really the thing that matter.
Yeah.
But the way TCM is doing things is that they're at least consistent with their bug fixes and whatnot. However, there is like a time gap in between like their content drops, which I feel like is kind of just hurting
And
the game.
their content drop for new characters at $10.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I mean, it's not like DBD's much. It's not like DbD a lot of times is much better, but like at least it's better price. Like $5 for a character is arguably better.
$7 for a new $7 for a new killer and a new survivor.
Yeah. Unless it's very specific licenses like Stranger Things or Resident Evil.
Yeah, like two survivors and one killer.
Yeah. But that's kind of where I feel like TCM should be a bit more of a competitor. It's just weird looking at it. There's also the fact of like the Killer Clowns game. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it. I had like inkling of it might be good, but the more and more I see it, the more and more that is the equivalent of, okay, you are jumping the shark in the worst way possible. It's not that Killer Clowns from Outer Space is a bad IP for that idea, but at that point, why not go with like a Left 4 Dead horde shooter, right? Where the idea is like it's less of like the hordes of zombies and more of it's like one of those mutations where you're fighting mostly the special infected, right?
I was excited for it, for Killer Clowns for Outer Space, the game, until because I was excited for character creator for survivors, and then they showed the characters, which are just characters, not like creative characters, so I was disappointed.
Yep. It's kind of where I'm like really hoping TCM can kind of last, cuz like I don't know, it's just kind of worrying. And I think that's the positive DbD has going for it, because even back when they were small, they could kind of move on from bad chapters if people don't fucking believe me. While I never played these chapters in their heyday, Saw, and more importantly, Nightmare on Elm Street. If from what everyone has ever told me on Nightmare was, if there was anything to kill DbD back in the day, it was Nightmare. And about almost did.
What the fuck? What do you mean infection?
That's generally like no surprise to me on that front.
Yeah. And it's also kind of the funny thing too, which is part of the reason why I'm bringing this up about other ASIMs. I've also played a lot of other ASIMs, and DbD is such a funny game when it comes to that. I don't think I've ever fully told this story to everyone, but this is kind of what made me start to appreciate DbD in another light. Because I think everyone has this kind of story about a game, or at least a multiplayer game they've really enjoyed. But this is the one about DbD for me, which I think a lot of everyone can relate to here. I once played with a group of friends where I was essentially the guy with like 4K hours at that point. This was before I met everyone here. And I was playing with a bunch of people who picked it up when Nightmare on Elm Street came out, / are brand new to the game. And everyone here immediately knows when I say, when you're playing with a lobby of new people, you don't know exactly what to play, especially when you're a killer main, to be nice, you know, to introduce them to the game. Because, like, let's just talk about let's talk about the 4 I was fucking considering. Twins, Trapper, Clown, and fucking Ghostface. Which... Okay, we all know why Twins is probably the first one off the board.
At least with Twins as they were, yes.
Yeah, and it's the equivalent.
I would still rather play them than Clown.
Yeah, I was about to say, Alpine. You know what happened? You know what it feels like when you get sandwiched between a sissy and a fucking what's his name, Johnny.
Hitchhiker. Oh,
No, John. Yeah. Well, the hitchhiker works too, where you're just fucked when you don't know what to do or what you're doing because you're like disoriented from Sissy's powder, and you're stuck between both of them.
that's true.
Yeah, that's what new players, I imagine, feel like with the twins. Then there's Ghostface, which I'm not gonna lie, there was a guy in the group that he's a huge Ghostface guy. He was a huge Ghostface fan, not Scream fan. He just really likes Ghostface, and he likes playing Ghostface. And that's kind of that moment where I'm sitting there, like, twiddling my thumbs, like, I pulled Ghostface off the roster because I was like, I'm gonna make him look so bad and emasculate him so much. Because I think I have jump scared everyone in this call as Ghostface a minimum of 3 times, to a point I have given you all heart failure. And I will still never forget that day I fucking made Blake cuss me the fuck out. Blake,
You're gonna have to there's more than one time that happened.
I think this was one of the few times you and me were playing off stream. I think you were playing with us, but you just joined us to just do some stuff. And I was playing Ghostface, and I scared the shit out of you. Like, it was Springwood, and you were in that house, Jen, the one up top on the 2nd floor. That's like in the closet.
Yeah,
and I scared the shit out of you so bad that you ran, vaulted, panic dropped, ran into me, turned back around, ran into a bush. That's when I stabbed you, and you were just like, God fucking God, fuck. And it was because that was the only thing you could do other than not scream. And I felt really bad, so I was like, I'm gonna leave you here. I don't remember if I hooked you or not.
I don't remember either.
Yeah, I just felt really bad. I was like, oh, good lord, I think I gave him a fucking heart. I think I gave him an aneurysm. And then I didn't touch you for, like, the entire game until you were the last one alive, because I was like, I feel bad. I ain't touching him. And then, of course, there's the story that leaves Trapper and Clown. Well, neither are good options, but I chose Clown, because at least Clown you can pre-drop and stuff, right? Yeah, they didn't have a very fun time with me, because they basically, the way they worded it was, it's not very fun playing against you. Which, this is also a statement that I'm sure you guys could agree with when it comes to me, where it's like, it seems like you try to win. But this is where, with DbD, and this is the point I'm trying to make, where I've actually grown to respect DbD. Because I feel like DbD at its best, and this is why DbD has stayed alive, DbD is at its best when you can kind of do those dumb fun things. Not just like win streaks, but find out what benefits your playstyle, what works for you long term. Discovering hilariously how you as a survivor in that trial survives. You know, your skill set rather than the meta. And then there's like TCM and Evil Dead, where it's like people min-max the shit out of it. And that ended up killing it.
They do.
Which is what's so fucking, and I don't understand it. I don't, like, maybe Alpine, you could explain it to me or someone else here. I don't understand why TCM's fucking dying, and I don't understand why other ASIMs haven't lasted.
Well, because of the lack of content.
Okay, well, that's
you only
fair enough.
have so many certain killers and survivors to test out. And because of the way, the stats work, you can minimax some killers, like one-shot Leatherface, or max speed Hitchhiker, or maxed out blood harvesting Sissy.
Yeah.
There's just like, you're stuck with these killers specifically because that is what they can max out. It's not like DbD where you can just put any perk on any killer survivor and you can work with it. You have to play as Sissy or Leatherface or Hitchhiker.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that, like I said earlier, there's not the pool for both killer and survivor isn't big right now, and it doesn't help that you do have to grind the skill trees for them separately.
Yeah, and that's...
Which sucks, because you're not always going to get the killer or survivor that you want, because someone else might already have them, and they don't want to trade.
Yeah.
So you're forced to play someone else.
And that was the same thing that was the same thing with Evil Dead, except I feel like people were even more boxed in because, like, God, the fucking Kellys. I'm sorry, love the character in the show, but I hate her in that fucking game. Every Kelly is fucking max dodge, fucking headshot damage.
But Evil Dead, the game was like, it's a very interesting like game of like how they did balancing, because like you have to wonder like what were they thinking half the time.
Yeah. And I think that's kind of like I've been saying where my point with DbD is. I think everyone here has actually literally said that while we don't... I think it's fair with DbD, all of us have expressed something that we just don't like about DbD as far as like the meta or the balance or whatever, regardless of whether we see ourselves as a survivor main, killer main, we play both sides, you know. But that is, I think, the one thing
Lawrence,
What's up?
would you believe me if I said that from the moment I first started playing, I did not touch Survivor until the year 7 anniversary.
Damn.
No, you have explained this to me.
Damn.
And then there's the silence.
And the main factors, like that's around the time when Hattie came out, and like that was also before the time I really started getting into Evil Dead, so I didn't appreciate Ash at the time.
I was about to say, fucking leader Ash was my shit. Because I was a fucking hell of a leader Ash. I fucking went toe-to-toe. I unironically won fucking 1v1s against bosses.
Also, Lawrence, I think you should drink this.
No, fuck off.
Arcade chat.
Fuck off.
This isn't just lean. It's just poison.
It's Omega Lean.
No, that's just poison.
I got no comments for any other ASIMs outside of like VHS, Monsters Immortals, and
Garna Bam Bam.
Garden does not have an ASIM, but if it did, my God, I would be there first day.
Oh my God.
Peak!
Anyway.
I'm being I've only played like DbD, Friday the 13th, and TCM, and Friday the 13th I only like really started playing like around the time it was announced that it was like being like
taken
like,
off.
Yep.
That makes me think that's another fair fucking thing. What was the thing we were talking about, Blake, way back when I played Evil Dead?
Oh God.
I think
That
we
was
were
so long ago. I don't remember.
I remember we were talking about the balance of that. Oh, you were saying something about the cars. I remember there was this tirade Sin went on about the fucking cars, and you lost your shit laughing. Not at Sin, but because there was an entire match as Demon that I was playing hot potato with cars and torturing.
Oh God, yes.
I had
kept trying to drive to all of the points.
I kept
you just kept possessing their cars.
Yeah, I kept
running everybody over.
Yeah, I kept jumping in the car.
All the cars in Evil Dead were. I know about that.
Okay, I forget. Was I a survivor or was I the demon in that match? Because I remember
You were the demon in that match, but you had a match right afterwards where you were playing as survivor, where somebody kept trying to run everybody over with the cars, but was really bad at it.
Yeah, and I kept running through the wood. Yeah, I remember that because I was Hunter Ash. I was Hunter Ash, and I was running through the woods like it was actually Evil Dead 2, and all you could hear me do was like, like fucking running as they were like climbing trees, like they were a Left 4 Dead Hunter, and I was just like, I don't know, and then I look behind me, and he's got like 3 cars stuck in a pond, and the 4th one he flipped upside down.
He was so bad at driving cars.
I ducked underneath, and then I'm sitting there watching the car like crush 2 of his guys, like, oh, okay. And I just had a casual stroll through the woods. He gave up on me, and I was just like, all right, I'll have a casual stroll. Nothing. Proceeded to leave me alone.
I want to say by the time that you got through all of that, he had gone through like 5 different cars.
I was about to say, I remember 4. And the last one being he overshot it and threw it over my head, and all you heard from me was the ugly scream that comes from me. But yeah, no, it's just kind of what's nice. I will say that it's like what is nice about DbD. Though I will say, everyone here is in agreement that it is finally time that Adrenaline got fucking gutted.
I want that health state that it gives you. I want that shit gone. I want that shit gone.
What we're talking about, I've been spaced out for like the last several minutes. What?
I unfortunately have to get going now since I do work tomorrow.
Okay, well we can wrap it up here because I might in the future do more like podcast things like this where we just sit around and we talk about like a game or a series.
You should do like a every podcast or every chapter drop or something.
Well, I know maybe in the future I will do a DnD one, which there will be Cat and Blake and Mage and Hero and Fitz and 10 fucking people that I know that will be banging down my door for that, and I can only allow Ed.
I'm gonna be banging down your fucking door. You should see my bard.
The way break out my rogue again.
The way you said that, tying that into DbD, sounded like Dwight talking to one of the other survivors. Jesus.
Hold on.
I somehow managed to raid a rogue that managed to completely sidestep the tragic backstory edgelord gimmick by being an asshole.
It's possible.
Yeah, he's basically the son of my Arakoa rogue. Rest Sharpfeather is the son of a mob boss.
Yeah, but yeah,
Here's my elf bard in arcade chat that I had
Mom's
draw.
Mom's dead, but Dad's still alive, and she didn't die tragically.
Lawrence,
old age.
You mentioned you wanted to like do this like a podcast. Didn't you also say you were going to record this?
I am.
Oh.
Yeah, good luck picking through all this.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyway, we're going to end it here.
Oh, yeah, make sure, since you're using Audacity, to save and export that as an MP3 as soon as possible.
I will. Anyway, but...
Alright.
Let's...
What? All right, thank you for
Come.
Anyway, we're gonna end it here.
Praise Jesus.
Anyway, but we'll end it here. Next time, I don't know. We'll figure out what we're gonna be talking about. But yeah, thank you so much.
Wait, Lawrence, there's something I have to say. Subscribe to Corn Nick on YouTube.com.
Fucking. You whore.
You fucking rat.
You shameless whore.
I'm gonna end the fucking video now.